Anti-Afro Svengalis. Oh, my apologies for the delay in the start of the series. I think I was supposed to do it 2 days ago. But things come up. But here we are. This is a 4-part series. I stated I was going to be bringing you, and it has to do with this interview that King Kong Crazy, aka KKC, did on this very abusive anti-ADOS freaks page. And while on that page, KKC was making some pretty outrageous statements. Well, straight up, KKC was lying. Now, we all know this is YouTube's platform. It's a video sharing service. You can come on here and do pretty much anything you want as long as you're not violating the law or violating YouTube's policy according to their tolerance levels. So people quite frequently do get up here. And like KKC, they tell lies. Lies have their purpose. Mainly, lies are designed to control. Lies are designed to hide. But let's get to the first person that KKC was spewing lies about with respect to me. And the big issue is how KKC somehow finds a way to throw me into the mix when it comes to 4 brothers. And today we're going to talk about Grownman. KKC left out 98% of what actually happened when it comes to Grownman. But before we go on, we have to be certain that we are talking about the same person. Because if we're not talking about the same person, there's no point in me doing this video. So we're going to confirm, maybe you all can help, that we're talking about the same person who goes by the name of Grownman. I'm going to play you a video clip. And I want you to keep in mind the allegation that KKC leveled on that platform. Specifically that I told Grownman what to say and what to do, and specifically as it relates to KKC and what Grownman said about him. But I want to make sure we're talking about the same Grownman. So stay tuned and I will return.
I see Pillsbury in this motherfucker. Me and mine's in here.
Pills, me and mine's, leave Pillsbury alone. Please. I appreciate it.
I came on the channel.
Bro, listen.
It's a pedophile.
Me and mine's.
Hey,
me and mine's. I told you. Ho, y'all. I got this, bro. I got this. Me and mine's. I told you to leave Pillsbury. We got this. He good. Ain't no need for all that. We ain't into that. We ain't gotta do all that. So just calm down, sis. I got you.
I just think up here
get off the me and mine's get off the panel.
I'm getting off the panel, but he ran.
Get off the panel right now. I understand. Get off. Get down.
That man is showing his monkey behind.
Hey, hold on. Me and mine's, I gotta let you go. Your old man said you gotta go, baby. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let it go, bro.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, I'm sorry. But on your old man, whatever he say, it's gotta be done.
Okay, so is that the Grownman that you all know in these YouTube streets that I know to be Grownman? Is that the same Grownman you think KKC is talking about? If it is, do I need to continue with this video? This is a person who KKC claims I'm telling what to do. Well, this is the question that I put out there. If that's such an easy feat, then for what reason has KKC failed to confront Grownman? Because KKC brought this up and has an issue. He has an issue According to him, I'm telling grown man what to do. So why in the heck is your issue with me, KKC? Your issue should be with the brother who's taking my orders. According to what you have stated, what is the reason that KKC has never stepped to grown man? Well, let me tell you something. This is the 98% that KKC left off. What makes it even more deplorable that KKC tried to use me as the crash dummy because he cannot bear the thought of actually stepping to grown man and telling him what he thinks. Let's go back in time. Do you all remember when the Smoke first started his page? Now we're talking back in 2020. Yes, people, 2020. Now I'm not going to go too much into the Smoke. I'm only going to reference him because, as you know, I have a video dedicated to the Smoke. So I'm not going to plug certain holes. So if you hear some holes or know some holes that are not plugged up about the Smoke, don't worry about it. Smoke got his page started. I left almost immediately. That's a hole I will plug up later. Other people came. People converged upon the channel. It was the new hot channel. I left, but I was in and out. And one time I tapped in, and in comes a brother who went ham on a particular individual that was on Smoke's panel. I'm not going to mention this person's name. This person is still in the YouTube streets, and I don't want distractions, so I'm just going to focus. Grown man went all the way ham on this dude because this dude had posted a video on grown man's wife that was derogatory, and grown man stepped to him. Not only that, grown man took the task. There were several other, I believe all the people on the panel were men or males. He didn't get on the Smoke. He got on the people on the panel because apparently there were other dudes up there who had also posted videos on women. And he ripped into them saying, asking basically, what the hell's wrong with you? Up here on YouTube, your platform is dedicated to trashing women and posting videos on women. And he just railed on these people. That was my first knowledge and introduction to grown man. So what ended up happening, I don't know exactly how long after that, but people on KKC's channel, the ones that are still there, they had converged on the Smoke's channel. But the problem was Smoke was rocking with KKC's mortal enemy. And I'll get into, again, we're not going to sidetrack with that. But they had all come over to the Smoke's page. And I was up in arms going, what the hell's going on here? How in the hell can people say they support KKC and they're rocking on a page where this mortal enemy is front and center and Smoke's like engaging him for reasons I'll get into later in another video, and they're moderators? Huh? And I made that known that this was some crazy shit that was going on. So what ended up happening, stick with me because this is related to grown man. I just got to give you this history. There eventually became this huge falling out between grown man's wife and these females that had come from KKC's channel. And by the way, they were still going over to KKC's channel while also moderating for the Smoke, where he's entertaining or hosting KKC's mortal enemy. So these people started harassing not just grown man's wife, they started harassing grown man. It was horrendous, people. And guess what? I had nothing to do with it. Right. It didn't involve me. So there you go. There's a history right there. Now, I'm going to say some other things about this situation. Am I saying that grown man was tossing and turning in the middle of the night because of these. Well, let me let you hear what Grownman has to say about these people. Stay tuned and I will return.
And telling your friend, yo, you need to sit down, bro. Yo, you're going to get yourself in trouble the way you're talking. Yo, you're being very reckless. If y'all not talking to your friend like that, get the fuck out of here with that nut shit. And all you motherfuckers who want to allow them on your panels, goofy motherfuckers like King Kong Crazy, don't care a fuck about none of y'all on the real tip, because none of y'all are men enough to stand on nothing. And I'm not going to stand by and allow my motherfucking panel, I'm supposed to be this person who's positive. King Kong Crazy, ain't nothing positive about you. You have a cesspool for derelicts. You think that whatever happened to you, because life comes in circles. Yours ain't complete, bro. None of us are. None, but keep going down that dirty path you're going, because you're a dirtbag. You're not a man. You struck my man Smoke Channel for nothing. You let others stick their foot all in your goofy ass, and you don't do nothing. You got them ragamuffin women over there conducting everything you say, because you are one of the cash app leeches. You're not Lennon Honor.
We're all listening to the same thing. We heard him refer to the smoke, and then he referred to another person, a him. I am not a him. I'm a her. I'm a she. I'm a woman. Question, what the hell did this recitation have to do with me? The answer obviously is nothing. But here is the question. Has anybody heard KKC respond to Grownman after what Grownman just stated? And this is not the only time. I will state it again, that Grownman has called out KKC. And what does KKC? He comes up with a scenario to include me. In your opinion, you can give a guess. Does anybody think that Grownman was laying awake at night worrying about KKC and what he deems as ragamuffins? And then you reference KKC striking the Smokes channel. What does that have to do with me? That has nothing to do with me. There is pre-existing history that goes back. Now, let's talk about KKC. You think KKC's laying awake at night? Hell yeah. He was plotting. He was waiting for that chance to strike that channel. And Grownman is at Smoke's channel. Or was it Smoke's channel when he was running lives on a regular basis? Grownman was other places in these YouTube streets. And Grownman would make comments from time to time about how those people on KKC's page were harassing him specifically and his wife. And if you've been around these particular parts, you've seen videos that I posted on this. You saw screenshots. You've heard voicemails. So that harassment all got started. It had nothing to do with me. There is history here, people, but KKC still, for some reason, has never, ever confronted Grownman. He was running around confronting women who were ragging on him about being divorced and talking greasy about him. Remember Creme de la Creme? He was sure stepping to her on panels, and he said he stepped to her on, let me see your handcuffs panel. I think he said no. He got to her on Max V's panel. So he knows where to find people. He knew exactly where to find Grownman, but he never said a word. Now, why do you all think that is? He wanted to make sure he could try to find a way to sock it to me, and by proxy, think he can throw shots at Grownman. And let me tell you specifically what went down. Grownman has made other comments about KKC, basically not considering his head TBI due to gunshot wound, attempt on his life, as no excuse for the shit that's going on. Because listen, you can deny it all you want. If somebody's engaging in some bullshit and it involves you and your family, and they're running all over these YouTube streets, and they got your name in their mouth, and then they're going back over to another page, and this person is hosting them and propping them up, and really, it's their home. You don't think if that person, KKC, starts in on other people and starts doing bullshit to other people, you don't think that's going to prompt a Me Too response? You don't think that's gonna, for the average person, say, hey, guess what? This is what I think about what you're doing in this situation, in addition to what you did before, because Grownman made comments on a regular basis about those people, those females, those ragamuffins over on KKC's page. So I am calling out KKC for what he is, a freaking coward, to sit up here and say that I am telling Grownman what to say. You heard Grownman, extremely cowardly and chicken shit for KKC to try to push the scenario that I'm living how many miles away, 3,000 plus miles away, have some ESP going through the airwaves to control Grownman to get him to say what I want him to say about KKC. He's always talked shit about KKC, and KKC never said a word and still hasn't said a word. So listen, whenever KKC opens up his mouth about me, why don't you ask him to step to Grownman? So what he has to say about me is just irrelevant. It's irrelevant. He sits around females complaining about other men, taking swipes at other men, but will not step to those brothers. Is anything King Kong Crazy says worth listening to? In my opinion, not until you step to the dude that you really have a problem with, and one of them is Grownman, and to this day you have yet to say anything to him. You are a coward through and through. So do you see the history? He's going to jump up and say, I told Grownman to say something about his TBI and head injury. What makes you think Grownman would be afraid to say just what he said? And I can't find that clip just this second, but this is what I'm going to do. If I can't find a clip, because I got a lot of videos I'm trying to catch up on, I will gather them all and post another video so you can hear the things that Grownman was saying. And KKC was trying to say that I'm telling him to say that. Again, you heard what Grownman said at the beginning. I'm quite sure you've heard Grownman on many forums. Does it appear to you that Grownman would have any trouble dealing with KKC? Does it appear that Grownman would have trouble dealing with anybody? I think we all know the answer to that question. So check out KKC's chicken shit disposition, running, hiding behind weak ass ragamuffin, rat eating witches over on his demon panel. And you know what? I will say something. There is one person over there I wouldn't call a rat eating witch, but I'm not going to identify that person at this point in time. That comes in another video. But there you have the history of Grownman and KKC. Let's see if KKC ever has the guts to step up and confront Grownman and tell him exactly how he feels. In the meantime, people, don't hold your breath because you'll pass out. But you know the drill. Buyer beware.